Well, we're back. The two bees in the pod are back. Yes. I'm here with Brenda.
Hello. Great to be back.
We've done a few of these episodes and they've been really fun and we've joked around and we've just let ourselves just be ourselves and share. But this one's a little bit different, isn't it?
It is. This one is a little more somber, maybe, although knowing us, we'll probably also have some lightness as well.
Yes. And so this is Mother's Day. We wanted to do a very intentional episode. And Brenda, you had me on your podcast last year with our friend Vanessa around Mother's Day. And I started thinking, I want to do this again because you and I are evolving through this process. Yeah. But we want to just let everybody know before we get started and talking about Mother's Day, this is very intentional what we're doing because we both our mothers have passed on. So maybe you can just do a little intro for what we're doing here today.
Yes. Thanks, Vinu. So our intention today is to help moms who, or not even moms, help really anyone, but help our listeners who have maybe lost their moms, to help them as we come up to Mother's Day and experience Mother's Day. Because as you and I know, Vinu, it's a little different experiencing Mother's Day when you no longer have your mom. And I'm thinking about even since we recorded that last episode on the She Flourishes podcast, we've since had some friends that have lost their moms. And so I know that last time when we did it, we had women come up to us and say it really helped them. So a big intention is to, as a couple of women who have gone through this and have a number of years behind us of going through Mother's Day without our moms, that we might have something to share to help those moms as they experience this. And also, I think you and I said, Vinu, it's a really nice way for us to honor our moms.
Yes.
And honor ourselves as we are going through this.
Yeah.
And so it really is to be of service. That's our intention, and to honor our moms. And it helps, I don't know about you, it helps me process it as well.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the High Vibes Podcast. I'm Binu, your host. My goal with every episode is to leave you feeling better, shining your light a little bit brighter than before you press play. Let's dive in. You did something when you did this on your podcast last year where we just said our mom's names out loud. Yeah. So you said, but why don't we just do this? Yeah. Why don't we just do this? Okay. So, because it is really meaningful. And I remember last year, like we all started crying.
Yes.
But I can already feel like it shifted, right? So when I say my mom's name, Vina, it's like, it's not being, the tears are not coming up anymore because I bet you since then, we've been saying our mom's name more. So your turn.
And my mom's name was Kathleen. And people that knew her called her Kathy. And family called her Kath. And of course, we called her Mom.
Aw, I love that. So she has like 3 versions.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Kathy with a C is how she was mainly known. And and you're right. I'm not feeling the tears the same way as so even in the last year or two, it's gotten easier. Maybe it depends on the day.
Yes. Well, because we were at this coffee shop the other day. We weren't planning to talk about Mother's Day. We were just meeting to do some co-working. And the 2 ladies beside us at the coffee shop were talking about well, I don't know. They were talking. What were they talking about? I overheard cancer. I overheard someone with cancer.
And I think I heard GI or something.
Oh, and I looked up at you and you had tears in your eyes.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, it's this conversation. And so my point is, we never know when someone's going to say something or we overhear somebody.
Yeah.
And we get that emotion, right? So that was really interesting.
Yeah. The timing was weird because we both lost our moms to cancer. And then we were in the coffee shop and the people next to us were dealing with that. And so I just thought, and then I was feeling it and I was just checking in with Binu, like, Binu, are you okay? Like, as we're hearing this. Not that we were intentionally eavesdropping, but we were trying to get work done so we could hear everything. And we were so close.
We were so close.
We're so close. And one other thing I just wanted to say as we're talking, like if it's really raw for you that you've lost, like if you're listening to this and you've recently lost your mom or a loved one, and you feel like this is maybe like maybe a little too much for you to listen to today, if you're feeling a little tender, a little emotions are a little raw, maybe you want to skip this one and come back at another time, or listen when you really feel that you have the bandwidth to listen to it.
Yeah, I think that's important, Brenda. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You know, we were joking when we were at the coffee shop. We've said this before. Like, we're in a club that we don't really want to be in, right? What did you say?
Yeah, it's a club that we're in, but that no one wants to be part of. Like, no one wants to join our club.
No, nobody wants, and we don't want people. We don't want
people in the club,
right? Like for me, and maybe we just shared this. It's like my mom passed away, and that's even the wording. Like, language makes a difference for me. So even as I'm hearing you say lost, I'm noticing my body just want to shift that word to like, how would we say it differently? My mom moved on to the other world. Yeah. Like, sometimes I say that, passed on. Yeah. Just because spiritually, I know that she's my angel, and your mom is your angel. Yeah. So that's why I feel like we say this, it's conditioning, lost, but it's like, well, we haven't lost her. It's just human wise, they're not here. But spiritually, I mean, I know you get signs, I get signs. So on that note, I'm trying to change my language. So if that's for somebody today, then great.
You're so good at that, Binu, at noticing the language. And I think you're right, because I think that's been one of the things that's helped me to cope is knowing that she has passed on, but she's still there. Yeah. So we haven't lost. Maybe they're not here in physical form. Right. So I love that.
Like, even think of the word. Like, this is conditioning, right?
Yeah.
Like even the word lost.
I know. It's lost.
Although, I mean, this is where we can laugh and cry all in the same episode. Is like, lost means like some things, like you don't know where it is, but you're going to find it. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And I think there was something about that, like where when people pass away, when they die, like from in this human form, I went through many a times of like waking up in the morning, like maybe it was just a dream. Like, like maybe she's going to come back. I remember I was young when my mom passed away, but you were young when your dad passed away.
Yeah. So tell us about how old you were and that, so that people get the context too.
Yeah. And so I was 20 and my mom was 47. And she passed away of what they think was colon cancer, because by the time they found it, it was in her liver, it was all over her body. So that's where they think the origin was. But that's been my experience. So 2026, like, gosh, it's probably 35 years this summer. Wow. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
It's a long time without your mom.
Yeah.
Or without her on this side.
Yes. And how about you? Like, just timing wise. Yeah.
So I was just thinking on the way here, we're in this lovely podcast studio here today. This will be my 14th year celebrating Mother's Day without my mom. So it was 14 years ago that, and my mom, had pancreatic cancer. So it was a diagnosis, that we got, and it was pancreatic cancer. It goes pretty quickly. So, we had her for 14 months after that. And then my dad passed, and I was 43 years old when my mom passed. So it's a little more recent for me. But I was 24 years old when my dad passed away very suddenly of a heart attack. So I've been a member of I've lost a parent club. Yes. Since 1994. But having lost my mom, see, I'm saying it again. Lost. But that's okay. Having had a parent pass on, club that no one wants to be in. It's been a while. So it's a different experience, and you still have your dad, which is so beautiful. So you have the contrast too of seeing what it's like to now have a parent as they're aging. Yeah. And and having him here on this side still with you. Yes.
And Brenda and I are not afraid to have these conversations. Right. And even that, it's like, like, I love that you're like, we notice our own words, right? I don't want you to think like, oh, I have to stop saying this word. It's like, no, it's like, it's part of how you talk about your experience.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah. But I like that. I think there's something, I want to embrace that because I think there is something about that.
And
the way
I
we
like
talk about it.
And I like what you've just said about celebrating Mother's Day without your mom. Like that's something that I haven't really said. So
No.
to me, you're a big celebrating person. I think of Brenda whenever there's a birthday or something. You are big on celebrating. When I launch my podcast, you're like, let's celebrate. Like, so of course you speak like that. But thank you for that today, because I think I still get a little bit, which is kind of why I wanted to do this podcast, to honor our moms, to honor ourselves going through this versus just hitting Mother's Day and no one talking about it, which is how it used to be. You know, my kids did all, like our kids did all the things, but no one was talking about my mom.
Yeah.
And that, see, it still chokes me up, right? Just that memory of staying so quiet. And I think for me, if there's a message I want for women that maybe haven't had their moms as long as we have, or maybe whose mom has just passed away, I think what we've always talked about is the more you talk about her, the more you bring her and you talk to your kids about her, the better for all.
Yes.
Because obviously there's like, if people who can see the video, it's like, I obviously have things to still release. So we don't get over this.
No.
Right?
No, you don't get over it. And
so I'm going to open my tissue pack.
Yes. And we have to talk about your tissue pack because part of the reason this...
I'll take one out for you just in case.
Yeah. We need to talk about Binu's tissue pack because it says it's a branded tissue pack by Binu that says...
Yeah, it's okay to cry.
Yeah. And that stemmed from that experience you had. I remember you telling me with your mom. And when you were younger, and I remember you were saying it was something like a year after your mom had passed on in your culture or religion, it was that everyone would come together a year later. And do you want to tell them that story? 'Cause I think that's really powerful and leads to why you have your...
Yeah, and I'm curious if other cultures are like this. So in the Indian culture, I think it's Indians, not just the Sikh culture, it's at the year mark, you have like a prayer. So where everybody comes together. I thought it's like an honoring, like that's the thing is like we go to these cultural things and like nobody's telling us. They're like, we're having the 1 year prayer for your mom. Okay. So you show up and all these people came to our house and we had these priests come and they do the service and it brings up a lot of emotion. So I remember crying. And then some of the aunties, like not my blood relatives, but like the friends of my mom's, all the Indian women were coming up and wiping my face. And they were just saying, I just remember them saying, that's enough. That's enough. So then somebody told me, well, that prayer is supposed to be the end of the grieving process, Brenda. Like what the F?
A year later and just, I want to paint the picture. You were 20, I guess maybe 21 at this point now.
Yes.
And think about, like, I think of my 20-year-old son and imagine like saying to him or saying to one of our daughters, you know, like you're done. And it's, and I think.
Stop crying.
Yeah. Stop crying. Like there's a start and an end. And I think one of the things we know from having been through this is everyone grieves differently. Yeah. And part of it depends on your relationship. Like we were both blessed with moms we had a close relationship with, but it also gets complicated, right? If you maybe didn't have that kind of relationship and maybe you're also grieving that you didn't have the relationship you wanted with your mother. So I also want to honor that, you know, it's all different types of grieving and we all have a different process that we go through and there is no timeline. And I know, I'm just thinking like with my background in psychology, there's this whole thing. I don't know if it's the 5 or the 6 stages. You've probably heard of it. There's the stages of grieving. And so people get confused with that too, because it's like, okay, I go through this stage and then the next stage. And so one, it's not linear. It's not like you go through these steps and then, you're okay.
Have I missed any? Have I missed any steps, Brenda? I think I need to check in.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that. And actually those steps were for people that were terminally ill. Like it was for the person, not for the people who were grieving the person that they had lost or who had passed on. So anyway, so this whole idea that there is a timeline, there really isn't. And I remember, because like being the personality I have and being someone who has studied personal development. And when my mom died, I was actually like trained as a coach. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to like power through this grieving process.
Wow.
Like I'm going to do all the right things and I'm going to like take the time and I'm going to like speed this up. Like I'm going to go, like I actually
speed your healing up.
I did. I actually thought like, cause
fabulous.
I know all the stuff.
Yes.
And I've been through this with my dad. So, I'm going to let myself feel the feelings and then I'm just going to feel all the feelings and I'm going to be done and like check.
It's actually quite comical knowing you as your friend. It's interesting what happens in our mind. Wow. Yeah.
And so needless to say, it did not work.
Okay.
And so even when you feel like you might have read all the right books and have the tools, that did not work. And so I'm here to tell you that there is no timeline. And I think the beautiful thing is that you don't want it to be over in a year because you want to still be able to think about them and talk about them. And I just think, I heard this quote by Kate Bowler. She just wrote the book. She just released her book, Joyful Anyway. I went to her book release and she said, I think it was her who said it, you don't get over grief, like you carry it. We carry it with us. We carry it with us. And I thought, and carrying it doesn't mean in a bad way, right? Like, but I think I want to carry it because it's made me who I am.
Let's dissect this. Carry it. This is interesting. Because I mean, we've both, so I'm not going to speak for you, but I've had people say like, oh, you're not over that yet.
Yeah.
If you can see my face on the video, so many times I wanted to swear at people. I'm like, over? How do you ever get over your mom dying? Yeah. Right. And so I love how you said it's like we move through it. Like that's the word I've used.
Yes.
We move through. So
we move through it's funny when I heard you,
part. Yeah. Right? When I heard you say carry, at first I feel like a resistance in my body. It's like, oh no, I don't want to carry grief, but I want to carry love. So that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
And their memories.
Yeah.
We want to carry.
That's beautiful.
When we were talking about this the other day, we were kind of prepping, not prepping, right?
Yeah.
At first I felt resistance in my body. I'm like, no, we're not carrying, because grief to me in my head, and maybe it's something I have to work with the language. Grief to me is like a sad thing.
Yeah.
But when I can switch it to love, like I remember we were talking about this a long time ago, like why some people say like, why is this so hard? And it was really hard.
Yeah.
Like it was really hard and I have no comparison to anybody else. Right. But I remember you and I were talking and I said, I think it's so hard because the love was so grand.
Yes.
And I get it. So when you say that there are some women out there or men that didn't have a great relationship with their moms before they passed. So I don't know. Is the grief easier? Hard in a different way because they didn't resolve things? I don't know.
So I just want to pause you there for a second because what you just said about, say that again, about that quote about
why I think grief is so hard is because the love was so grand.
Because you said this. So Binu did, for those of you that don't know, you did a couple of, was it videos? Like YouTube videos years ago before you even had your podcast.
Yes.
And it was, I don't know what made you do them, but it was kind of the same idea, maybe being in service to women that had lost their moms.
I think I had so many conversations. Was I coaching back then? I think I was just starting to coach and I was having a lot of conversations, but I wasn't really coaching on grief. And I think I was thinking like, do I become a grief coach? Because I was talking to so many women and I realized like I had some work to do and that is just me. So that is just me to go on and do a Facebook Live. Yeah. Like that's my personality back then was like, I have something to share.
Yes.
I'm just going to go do a Facebook Live. Yeah. And I remember at one point, somebody said, tell people before you're going live. So I did. And all these people came on. I still have that video. It's still on my YouTube channel. But that's where that came from. That was the first time I ever said it. So I think that was probably 2012. Gosh, so long ago.
So that's okay. And so because I remember seeing you, I still have a visual of, I had listened to that. And when you said that quote, like it stopped me in my tracks because I hadn't lost my mom. My mom was sick at that point. If it was 2012, I hadn't lost my mom yet. My dad had passed. And when you said that quote, whatever you said, that exactly that, it stopped me in my tracks because I was like, oh, that's exactly why I feel the way I feel about my dad. It's because the love was so grand. And I remember, I think I stopped you. We were somewhere and you were in your car and I came up and I thanked you for that because
oh my gosh.
you were the first person.
I have
remember
a visual.
That.
I do remember, Brenda. I actually remember you coming up to me in that parking lot.
Yes. And saying how much that touched me. And that healed something in me. So I'm glad you said that here today because I think for those of you that are maybe it's a little earlier on, or even later. I mean, when you said that 2012 and my dad passed in 1994. So when you said that, that healed something in me. So thank you for that.
So this is the part, it's like, so I know why I was doing that. It's like what we do now when we see that nobody's talking about something, like at least I would speak for myself. When I see that nobody's talking, like people weren't talking about grief. Like if I would mention something about my mom, the other person would get super uncomfortable. Yes. And so I remember thinking like, why is this so uncomfortable? I don't want to make people uncomfortable. So I thought if I do it behind a screen where I don't have to see people and I just get the message out, right? Just to like relax the conversation, make it about love. I think I was going down this spiritual path too. And I was like, everything was love. But I know what drove me to that. I don't know where the quote came from. I must have heard it somewhere. Was because I thought there was something wrong with me, that it was taking me so long to heal from her dying. Like I actually remember thinking like, what the F is wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like everyone, because you know when somebody says to you, oh, aren't you over that? I'm sorry, it still makes me laugh. And you go inward and you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't be sad anymore. So then we hold it in and we don't talk about our experience to people.
Yeah.
So I think I just wanted to open the door.
Yes.
Because I was like, we need to change this in our world.
We really do.
I get really righteous about these things.
Yeah. Well, I think, and that's the roots of today, where today's podcast came from, because that's why I invited you on to mine before you started yours, right? Your High Vibes with Binu podcast. Yes. But before that was those videos. And then we talked about it with our friend Vanessa Woodburn, who her mom had also passed a little more recently. Yes. And we were able to, and I remember, it's funny you say about the word celebrate, because I hesitated a little bit saying it at the beginning and then I said it just now. But back then we were like, we couldn't even use the word celebrate. I remember we said, like, is it get through, like, or have a Mother's Day? Like, we couldn't even use words like Happy Mother's Day or celebrating. And that's okay too. It's whatever it is. But I think the thing where I've landed now is that in terms of celebrating, it's not even that day. It's honoring the memory of my mom. And I think what's helping me, like I'm thinking even right now, maybe you can say what's helping you. But like right now in my office, I have this stained glass angel that my mom had taken up stained glass. I don't even know. It was like maybe a couple years before she died. And she made me this beautiful stained glass angel. And I have that in my office and I look at it every day. And I feel like just having that nearby, it's like having her with me. So this is where I'm getting teary. And the other thing is I have this picture of my mom on her wedding day. And I have it in my office. And I only put that in my office probably in the last year. And she's just got this big smile on her face. And I just look at it. And like the other day I was cleaning up my office and then I just kept walking by this picture of her and I walked by and I'm like, hi, Mom. It's just like, she's just, I don't know, she's with me. And I think it's a way of, not carrying the grief, but carrying the love and carrying her with me and just having her in my office day to day, like just having her nearby, like that's really helped me. So not necessarily something I do specifically on Mother's Day, but something I do on a regular basis. So I don't know what you do, but
I love that. Like you actually talk to her. and in that way.
I do.
Right. And I
Yeah,
actually think it's still something I'm working on. Right. Like, so I have, so as you were talking, I'm like, okay, so what do I do on the everyday? So I have this gold bracelet that I wear that is hers. So she had a set of 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah.
And so my dad gave me the set after she had passed away. And I went through years just having them in a box. And then I now wear this one like all the time. I never take it off. And it's challenging when you go to the airport because it beeps.
Oh, and they make you take it off.
Yeah. And then sometimes I can't, when you're inflamed and you can't get it off.
Right.
And so I do that. So a lot of times I notice like I just touch it. Like I feel like these things, it's like they're just with us all the time.
Yes.
And then I have a painting she painted in my living room. And now you're getting teary and I'm getting teary. And this painting, it's interesting. Like, my family did this. I don't know if it was for Mother's Day or for my birthday one year. So my mom did oil painting. So it's like a picture of Niagara Falls at night. And it just had this wood frame. So many years ago, my family went and got it reframed. And we got it put on the wall with like a picture light on it. So sometimes early in the morning when I'm, I don't know, working on something new, or maybe I'm feeling low one day, I'll put that picture light on and I'll just sit there in front of it. And sometimes I'll just like touch it. And sometimes I'll speak to her of like, okay, Mom, I'm here, like guide me or whatever. Probably not. I probably could do more. I could probably talk to her more. It's a weird thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So those are, it's kind of, I forget. It's because it's every day. It's always there.
Yeah.
I forget that the picture is there. But yeah, I love that we do these things.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah. I think it's really a great way to carry on and remember their presence. And, I had this, so my family is coming up to 60 years in Canada. Like they came here from England. My mom and dad and my sister was like a baby and my brother was, I think, 5. And so 60 years ago, they came to Canada. And so my brother said, hey, let's celebrate this May. It'll be 60 years in Canada. I'm like, oh, great. Let's have a tea party. Because you know me, I love tea parties, right? And it always makes me think of my mom too, because we used to have like a tea party on Victoria Day and she would make scones. And anyway, I thought, oh, I'm going to pull out some old pictures and see what pictures I can find. And I found this one picture of my mom. It was like a group, but my brother was sitting on her lap. And she's leaned over and she's kissing him on the cheek. And I had never seen this picture. So and then I had to call my brother and apologize because like this box has been sitting in my basement being new for like 13 years now.
Wow.
And I don't know if my brother's ever seen it. So I called him and I said, David, I found this picture of Mom, like, and you, and she's leaned over and she's kissing your cheek. Like, and even though it's like a group picture, everyone's looking straight ahead. And my mom was like leaning over, like caring for her baby in the picture. Wow. I just thought it was so sweet. And
but what a gift.
Yeah, it's just a gift to see that.
What a gift that, like you're finding pictures that you've never seen.
Yeah.
Like that to me is a gift, right? And I feel like my brothers and I do this. My dad sometimes, like my dad's 90, and I think what he read in some I think that book Happiness Project or something where it talks about looking at photo albums helps your happiness grow.
Yes.
And so
savoring.
He'll send us these pictures of him and my mom that we've never seen, like when they were in their 30s or maybe before they had children.
Yes.
And there's a moment where it's like, oh my gosh, like almost like low of like, I've never seen this. And then it's like, oh, what a gift.
Yes.
That we get to see new pictures of them.
Yes. It's
right?
so good. It's so good. It's so special. And I guess that's another maybe, I don't know, strategy or coping mechanism. Or I mean, that sounds so cold based on what we're talking about. But
what, strategy?
Strategy or coping mechanism. But like, what do we do to, I feel like the word I like to think of is like, honor my mom, carry on her memory, like their memory, celebrate her, right? And how they live in us, like, and I know, like, you and I are who we are because of our moms too, right? And I was thinking of you the other day, Binu, because I read something about how women that especially women who lose their moms a little bit younger, and how they no longer have, but I think I feel this even having my mom pass at 43. You were 20. How what's hard is that you don't have anyone there nurturing you. So the person who would have been there as your mom. See, this is the hard part.
I know.
Yeah. And so
this
this
is the tear break.
Yeah.
It's the tear break in the episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think like no one really plays that role fully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to ask you, because I think, I had my mom when my kids were babies, when they were little. So I think my kids were, I don't know. I think they were about, I don't know. I'm trying to think now, like little, like maybe 6 and 8 when my mom died. But for you, you didn't have that. And so how do you deal with that? Because I think that's been the hardest part is that, and I know how some of the things
I'm
that I do.
preparing myself by getting another What's interesting, Brenda, is like, for people that don't know you that well, Brenda is one of my best friends. And so as you're just saying that, I know like a lot of your tears are because you care so much for me.
Yeah.
Right? And so, how lucky am I to have a friend like you that thinks about me when I'm not around. Yeah, it was very weird. I was very angry when I had small kids.
Yeah.
I didn't show it. I internalized it. And anybody listening, don't internalize anger. Please don't internalize anger. Don't internalize the low emotions. They have to go somewhere.
We're basically dumping our Kleenex in sync.
In sync. That's hilarious. No, but that's my ask for people is don't internalize emotions. Feel them, talk about them, release them.
Yes.
So I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't do the self-development work as early as you did. So I wasn't trying to push through because I knew nothing. All I was taught was shove it, don't talk about it, act like you're fine.
Okay.
And you just act like you're fine because you're fine. You can't do anything about it. And I remember when I had young kids and I would, like, honestly, I feel like if I think back, I can actually visualize myself sitting in my front window like a sad puppy. I can laugh at this now, looking at the women across the street whose moms, probably around Mother's Day would come with food and or they'd be like, oh, thank God for my mom because I slept through the night. And I'd sit in these coffee chats pissed off, like inside. Who was I pissed at? So when I actually did this work, when I had a coach, it's like, well, I was mad at them for their mom still being here. I was mad at myself for not having my mom here. I was mad at my mom. Like I had a moment where I was mad at my mom. And I'm not that religious, but I had moments where I was like mad at God.
Yeah.
Like I remember thinking like what the F? Why'd you take her from me?
Yes.
This is not fair. Like I had a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it's important to talk about the things that you're angry about.
Yeah.
Like it's funny, but it was so true.
Yes.
And so it was hard. But also, what I learned is like, I didn't ask for help. Right? I wish if I had to go back again, I would have asked for help. Okay. Right? So I had some aunts. My one aunt lives around the corner on my dad's side. Lovely woman. She helped me as much as she could. She was a young mom. Like she's not that much older than me. She was like my dad's youngest brother's wife. So she had younger kids. So, I mean, she couldn't do everything, but she made me meals. Right? So she would bring me food, which was so nice. Lovely. My mother-in-law was lovely, but so the other thing in our culture, I don't know if in yours, like with your husband's parents, in our culture, it's like when you get married, you're supposed to treat your mom like your mother-in-law like your mom.
Okay.
Is it like that with you guys?
Not fully, no.
So we had a little bit, like, so she's passed on too, but it's like, I remember where one time she actually said to me, like, I'm your mom now. And that pissed me off too.
Yeah. Because
internally, I'm like, oh, you have no idea. Oh yeah. I remember like I had a lot of that, like, and I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right. I just kept it in, and it was hard. Right. And then I just had to, like, I had to talk to my husband, and I said, I just want you to know, like, it's just something that happens when your mom dies and you're a woman.
Yeah.
Like the mother-in-law can't replace her. Like, I'll love on your mom and I love her, but she'll never be my mom. Just like my dad will never be your dad.
Absolutely.
Right. So I don't know if you went through that with, like, cause you're in another club that I don't look forward to. The club when both parents have passed on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That must have, that, like, your mom passing away must have some other impact of being the second parent.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Because I remember thinking, you know, when I was 43, thinking, oh, like I have no parents now. And I remember saying, I'm a 43-year-old orphan, which is kind of funny because it's like, you're not a kid anymore. You're standing on your own 2 feet. But I think you always need your mom and your dad, right? At some point. And so, I went through, I think what you're describing, Binu, the anger, I went through more with my dad passing, because I think there's that feeling of, I don't know if you felt this, like I'd been robbed. Like,
well, and your dad he died instantly.
It was instantly. But it's that feeling of, wait a sec, like just the natural course of things, right? Like people aren't supposed to die at 47 or at 65. It's like, you sort of think, okay, I mean, we know everybody dies and people lose parents even when they're babies, right? So, and for a number of different reasons. But I remember that feeling of anger when I saw like other. Yeah, it's. I think that's a very normal feeling, and I think part of it is you feel like you've been ripped off. I don't know if you felt that. I felt like I'd been ripped off. Like, how come? Or I'd see like an old man. I think I've told you this before, and I'd see like he'd be walking down the street and so much older than what my dad had been. I'm like, why? And I feel like a horrible person. I'm like, why is he still here? Right? Yeah. Which is terrible to say. Like, it's not pretty. But it's real. Yeah. I think what we're talking about, and I admire that you're sharing, like, the anger is real. And I think, you know, people think because my background's in positive psychology and because you're a coach, like that, when we talk about mindset, and they think, oh, like we must always be happy and positive all the time. And we're here to tell you that we're not. And that's actually toxic positivity. Like, we're supposed to be experiencing the full spectrum of human emotion, and sadness and anger is kind of part of, like, that's what makes us human. And what you're talking about, though, is you had no place for that to go. Yeah. Right? So, like, if you had someone to talk about. Yeah. And that reminds me of a question I wanted to ask you. We have not prepared this, but I'm just thinking for people listening, like, and I don't even know my answer to this, but like, if you now, in all your wisdom and where you are now, if you could go back and talk to like 20-year-old Beanie. So one of the things you said is you would say, as a young mom, like, get some help. Like, I know you're a little bit older, but ask for help. Ask for help. You know, is there anything that you wish someone had said to you or that would have helped you when looking back now?
So as a 20-year-old, I was like in third year university. I wish there was us around open talking about our parents passing away and all the things that go with it. I wish it wasn't hush hush. I wish more people were saying like how you have. This is why I think we connected so quickly, because unfortunately we connected because we're in this club on this level. But I wish people would be like, tell me about her. Right? Where what I don't know what you got, but when I was young, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, that's the term, right? Right. Oh, I'm so sorry. And then people's faces would drop, and then I would feel bad that I said that, told them, right? And so I wish it was just okay to have conversation. Yeah. And I wish I asked for help more, right? Even back then, it's like we had family bringing us food. At first, I stayed home for a little bit, but then I did go back to university because my brothers were at home with my dad. But yeah. How about you? Yeah. What would you tell your younger self, or what do you wish it would have, or somebody would have said to you?
I think knowing that you're going to be okay, like you're going to get through it, and that this is actually going to like help you become like, it has helped me to be more resilient. I'm thinking especially with my dad, like that, yeah, you're going to be okay and your family's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think with my mom being a bit older, yeah, I probably would have said to that woman sitting there with her journal thinking she was going to power through the grief. There's no powering through, and that we all have our process. Because I remember calling our friend Judy Grabens. So Judy had lost her mom, I think it was about a year or so before, and I remember calling her and saying, how do you do this? Like, how do I do it? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to live in a world without my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do this. And I remember she came over. Like, see, this is the sweetest thing. And she came over. Now, she gave me this book that helped her. That book didn't really help me.
Was it Motherless Daughters?
No.
Because don't go get that book. Don't. Sorry, maybe that author is going to be upset if I said that. But yeah. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
Well, no, there's some books that are helpful, but this is I think we all. There is no one size fits all, because this book that she recommended to me really helped her, but it didn't help me. But what did help me was her dropping everything to come over and sit with me and talk to me. And, like, I think it's just, yeah. And, recently, I just lost, talk about this one yet.
Yeah. But you see, this is like while you're catching your breath, it's like this is going to keep happening to all of us.
Yeah.
When new emotions show up, a new experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've just gone through something.
Yeah. So my neighbor across the street, who's only 53, passed away. And her daughters, and I've been talking to Binu a lot because her daughters are the age that, her eldest is the age I was when my dad passed, and her youngest is close in age to what Binu was when her mom passed. And when I went to the celebration of life, which was lovely, they called it that afterwards. This is really recent, like we're talking a few weeks ago. And I looked at the young women, and a couple things I found really healing. One was I could see that her daughters are okay in that moment. I could see that they're okay, and they have each other, and they have their dad, and they have their friends. And the one I could just, I just looked at her and I thought, okay, like, we're more resilient than we think. We really are. Like, and research even supports that. We are more resilient than we think. And this girl had her friend with her. And I turned to the friend and I said, and she said to me, she goes, oh, my friend's been amazing. Like, she introduced me to her and said she's going to be my maid of honor at my wedding. And this friend, and I looked at her friend and I just said, you're a really good friend. And, I remember a friend who stayed by my side during that time. And I said, it means more than you know. It just really means more than you know. Wow. And I think that looking back, it's like, and if you're going through this, like, yeah, the people around you, not everyone's going to get it. But you're not alone. Like, and look around and there are people. And maybe you need to find someone like
maybe you need to ask. Because even that, Brenda, thanks for sharing that. I don't know if you told me that. No. It's like, that's a big job for a young 20-year-old friend as well. Not everybody wants that job. No. Right? So some people have their own stuff and don't step forward and offer that. So kudos to that girl. Yeah. Like, celebrating her and all the girls out there, all the women out there like her. Right?
Who nurture us. And I think this is what we do for each other now. And I know my sister, like, I know you don't have a sister, but you've got your brothers, and my brother too. Like, your siblings can potentially play that role. I mean, your dad has a bigger role to play now. Yes. The people and nurturing each other. So I know Binu and I, like, we have this thing where we just, I don't know, it's kind of this unspoken thing that I think we just And I know our friend Vanessa does it too. Like, I think just when you know that a woman doesn't have her mom anymore, any time you nurture her, and not every personality appreciates being nurtured, but I do. So maybe it's just knowing what she needs.
Yeah. And you know, you brought this nurturing piece up earlier. What I learned along the way is like even though you were 43 when your mom passed away, I read in some book years ago that like our mother is supposed to nurture us. Like, so the divinity of our connection with a mother figure is to nurture us through our life. And then the father figure is supposed to protect us through our life. So when we don't have those, or when that's cut short, then we have to go inward and do that work. So you've probably had to work on that self-protection, or like learning how to protect yourself energetically maybe. And then we've had to learn to nurture ourselves. So that really helped me along the way too. It's just that idea that, oh, I have to nurture myself, where I was seeking it like from my husband, my dad, right? And then when somebody said that from that book, it's like, oh, I don't even know if I did anything, but it's more like, oh, I get to like love on me, like as if my mom was to love on me. And I just want to say, Brenda, like, I think for all the women out there and men that don't have their moms here, like, it sucks. Like, it sucks.
It does. It sucks. We're allowed to say that.
Yeah. Like, it would be so cool. But however, I do know, and I've said this to you, and I do believe this is part of what I learned along the way. It's because somebody said, I think some angel human showed up just to drop a seed and say, you know, maybe she was needed somewhere else. And I've held on to that. And I mean, we both get signs from our mom, and it's like, I believe that. I believe that now she can help me from the other side. She can help me, my dad, my brothers, her sister. She can help all of us more than she could help us here. So when that's how I resolve a lot of this, like people dying early, is they're needed somewhere. I can't explain it, but I kind of look at what my dad's gone through, some pretty shitty things. And he's on the other side of it now, and things worked out in ways that we couldn't imagine. Both my brothers have had things happen that's like, we couldn't have imagined it working out like that. And so we do talk like this. We do feel like we have some extra help. Like, what do you believe that too?
I love that. I know. And that's what I've said to people. I've said, well, my parents aren't here, but I've got like two of the best guardian angels like you could ask for. Like, I've got them on the other side. And I know not everyone believes that, but whatever it is for you, or I know, Binu, you're really into like signs and synchronicities. Like I know when I see this blue heron, I think of my dad. And when I see butterflies, I think of my mom, and of course the cardinals. What about you?
The cardinals. The cardinals are a big one, and feathers. It's actually very particular. Pillow feathers. Like, you know, those feathers that come from pillows. Sometimes I find them on the inside of a sweater. Like, it's not supposed to be there. And there's a story behind that, but it's like, those are the signs for me. The one thing I wanted to bring forward before we end this episode is, you know, I don't know if you ever have people say, like, so we're in our 50s. Actually, we're both 55, right? You're 55. And sometimes, like, so the women whose moms are dying now, right? They're probably in their 80s or whatever. I've had some women friends that, you know, and I've gone and checked on them or talked to them. And, you know, it's funny what they say. They're like, I don't know how, like, this is, like, they're saying, this is so hard right now. I don't know how you dealt with losing your mom at 20. And it's funny, you know what I say to them? Because when it came to me, I'm like, well, first, like you said, it's all a different experience. Everyone's having a different experience and connection. But this one woman I know, like, she's so connected to her mom. And I just said to her, like, you've had 30 extra years with your mom. Like, I can't imagine, like, I actually think it's harder for you. Like, it's no comparison, but it's like, I actually think that would be so much harder. You've had 30 more years of connection. You have kids who got to experience as experience a grandmother. And then now you got to take care of your kids too. Like, that feels freaking hard. So I know nothing's harder than the rest, but I don't know what you think about that, because I want these women right now who are listening to this, our friends whose moms are sick now or have just passed away. It's like you're having your own friggin' experience.
They are.
Right?
They are. Yeah. And I'm blessed that I still have my in-laws. So both my mother and father-in-law, my father-in-law just turned 90 and they're both 90 now. And I was talking to my sister-in-law about this, saying, and there's all the things that happen as your parents age, and they're in a retirement residence now and all of that. They're doing amazingly well. We're so blessed. But I said, it's interesting. Like I didn't have this chapter with my mom and dad now. Like that chapter's closed in terms of my parents, and seeing people having to, it's a different type of difficulty to watch your parents get old.
Yeah.
I didn't watch either of my parents get really old. Like this
happened quickly.
Like 90, right? So yeah, it's a different experience. And I think it's hard in its own way. Like, so I don't think of it so much as like you've had more time with them. I just think it just plays out a little bit differently to be living through now this chapter of watching parents get older. I want to go back to something you said, the self-nurturing. I think that's something we hadn't talked about before. I love that. And I think you said there's something you're going to do this coming Mother's Day to nurture yourself. Do you want to share that? Because I might steal that idea from you.
Should
I thought
we tell
it was really
them?
good. Oh, do you don't want to tell them?
Yes, I was joking.
Okay.
I was joking.
I know it was a secret.
Oh, our emotions are everywhere. We can't even tell when we're joking anymore.
I know.
I think what I was saying to you the other day, and I've never done this. Have I ever done this? I think I'm going to buy myself. I think I'm going to buy a bouquet of roses for my mom. Like for her, for us, for our connection. Because I asked my family, and I'm like, I know this is what I want. I just want roses. I love Mother's Day flowers, all kinds of flowers. But I think I'm going to buy a set separate.
Yeah.
Just for her and I.
I love that. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think it's anything like that that's meaningful.
That's self-nurturing.
Yes, that's self-nurturing. It is. And it's self-nurturing and it's honoring. And I just think whatever it is that we need to do, I just think that's really beautiful.
You can steal it. It's not mine.
I might steal it.
And I'm going to celebrate. I'm actually going to talk like that. That's what I'm taking from you today is we get to celebrate Mother's Day because there are many years and I even feel this, I do feel a little bit of that anticipation, almost like anticipatory sadness.
Yeah.
But I know we're going to be fine. I do think that's a message that we want to give everybody is, we move through everything. We are, what did you say? We are more resilient than we realize.
Yeah.
I just think everybody needs to realize that. You might feel so sad right now, and actually let yourself be sad. Let yourself cry.
Yes.
Let yourself cry, even if you have to do it behind a closed door. Yeah. What else do we want to tell people as we close this episode?
I think anything that would honor yourself and your mother who's passed on, whatever feels good to you, and there's no right or wrong.
Yes.
There's no right or wrong.
And don't let anybody make you think it's right or wrong.
Yeah, and you might just want to give Mother's Day a pass, and which you can do too, right? I think it's whatever serves you.
Yeah,
you get to decide, and there's no rule that says that we need to, and let other people know around you, because sometimes, let's say you don't have your mom, but you're still now celebrating your mother-in-law, or your kids want to celebrate you, and I think it's giving it some thought about how you want the day to go. If you can sort of preemptively, ask the people around you to help you and support you with what you need on that day.
Even looking through pictures, I think I'm going to do that too, it usually makes me cry. Yeah. But I do know, I think we realize now, if the tears are coming, we're just processing. We're just releasing. Actually, and they're even happy tears. When we're talking about our moms and these experiences and we cry, it's because we love them so much. And we are not, I even think you and I could have more conversations about our moms. Yes. Right? And so maybe that's something for you and me, and maybe for people listening. Grab that friend who you know has had a similar experience and see if they want to have a conversation with you and prepare the tissues, right? Have a glass of water. Don't have anything to go to after and let yourself be, because I've been to many retreats where I've like burst out crying as soon as like I'm talking about my mom, and I learned we have to talk about them more. So I actually want people to realize that too. Don't be afraid to talk about them. Pull a picture out. Tell your kid that you like just said hi to your mom's picture leaving your office. Like, let them in on it.
Yes, I love that. I love that. I think that's really great. I'm gonna and I think that being conscious and intentional is really great. And even if you're consciously saying I'm not going to celebrate that day, and I would just say stay off social media.
Oh, yes, Brenda stays off social media.
I don't go on social media because I find it just doesn't serve me. And as much as like, and you know, keep posting the pictures of you and your mom at brunch. It's fine. Yes, it's just like there's just so much of it, and you start to feel like, wow, like so many people still have their moms, and it's sometimes can make it hard. As much as you know, we want people to celebrate your mom. If you still have your mom, that's great. It's just I feel like I don't want to subject myself to that. But you get Mother's choice. Day. Yeah.
So you get, I think that's a good way to end this episode, Brenda, is like realizing that everybody gets choice.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. Like you notice that you can't handle it. It's not for you.
It's not for me. It doesn't serve
bless them
me.
all.
Yeah.
And move on.
That's right. Yeah.
And I probably do that too. I probably don't go on. I see a little bit and then I stay off, and I just let myself be inward more and celebrate with my family and celebrate me and honor our moms, Kathy and Vina. Yeah. And I think we're doing good, Brenda. I think this was super good of us to do today.
I think so
for
too.
us, for everybody else, but actually for us.
For us. Can I just say one more thing? Because I just think I keep thinking about this and how we talked about our moms' names. So I have been a bit infatuated with the whole Artemis 2 mission around the moon. And the guy who's the commander of this whole mission, his wife passed away about 6 years ago. Oh. And so for those of you that have watched it, there's a clip with the other astronauts, like they're on the other side of the moon, and they're suggesting names for these two craters that are unnamed. So one, they say, let's name it Integrity, which was the name of the mission. And the other one was, let's name this other crater. And they said it's the brightest spot on the moon. Or one of the brightest spots on the moon. And let's name that crater after his wife, who has passed on. And they said her name was Carol, and they spelled her name. And the whole crew is in tears, and I'm watching it and I'm in tears. And I was thinking, wow, like what a great way to honor. And he's got kids. And I thought, how amazing, like their mom is being honored in that way. I mean, that is a huge grand gesture that we, you know, we can't maybe name a crater on the moon after our mothers. But I think just that I'm bringing it up because the idea of honoring someone who's passed on in such a beautiful way. And when they said the name and they spelled the name and they all broke down, it made me think of you and Vanessa and I when we all cried when we said our mom's names. And I think keep saying their name and keep honoring them. It's just so beautiful. It's just a great thing to do. So I just wanted to
thank you, Brenda. I actually think that's a beautiful way to leave everybody here today. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you for inviting me down to this beautiful podcast studio.
I know. Downtown Oakville, the Creator Lounge. People have to check it out. Like,
is it Creative Lounge or Creator Lounge?
The Creator Lounge.
The Creator Lounge. Downtown Oakville.
We'll put it in the show notes because I love being in a podcast room and it's in our town. It's great. And we were able to do this with beautiful roses in front of us. And I just feel like this is a really special day today. So, so
nice to be in each other's energy in person as opposed to just online. So thank you.
So 2 bees in a pod. Until next time, we will see you all later.
Bye for now.
Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate you listening. If this episode resonated with you and you wish to speed up your growth, feel free to check out my programs and services. Just go to my website, benu.ca. And if you know someone else who is seeking more meaning in life and could use some inspiration and high vibes along the way, please pass them on to me. It would mean the world. And it goes a long way if you take a few seconds right now and leave me a 5-star review and share this with your friends. I'll be forever grateful.